It's not the question that I mind, it's your attitude. I think you are a terrible reporter. It's the way you ask these questions. You start off with a man who's highly respected, asking him a horrible, insubordinate, and just a terrible question. And you could even ask that same exact question nicely. You're all psyched up. Somebody psychs you over at ABC. They're going to psych it. You're a terrible person and a terrible reporter.
It is on now. After all of this time that the Democrats been screaming, Epstein, Epstein, release it, release it. They were posing. They were projecting because now they've fallen into President Trump's trap. And let me let you know something. Watching how Trump has played 5D chess with these Democrats, man, the way it's playing out, I would not be surprised if he knew they were going to come after him with this. And he just waited and waited. And he even got the Republicans to say, just wait. Let them keep clamoring for it, pushing for it to where the public demands it, where I don't have a choice but to drop it and to start investigations, because now nobody can say that the Trump administration is going after Democrats attached to Epstein out of retribution, because this is what the Democrats demanded and what they got their ignorant base to demand. Now, today is off the chain. You saw the title. You got it right. Hakeem the Dream, a.k.a. Brooklyn Barack. And wait till you see who named him Brooklyn Barack. Look, in this video, I have got some jaw-dropping video clips and Epstein information for you. They have been dropping files left and right, and I got them for you. So as you see right here on the screen, first off, we got where Larry Summers says that he is deeply ashamed. Larry Summers to step back from public commitments after new Epstein emails. Now, that's an NBC News. Because, you know, if I put a right-wing publication up there, they would have really told it like it is. But when the lamestream left-wing media has to post it like this, they're almost there. No, he's stepping down. As a matter of fact, they're looking to remove him from the Harvard, where he works at Harvard right now. This man is stepping down from his positions. He's stepping away from the public. And he's even quoted as he is deeply ashamed. But we're going to get back to Larry Summers. Let's get off into listening to what I just laid out. This may be a trap. Check out what Fox News said, and then we're going to jump right into Hakeem Jeffries, because this was mind-blowing. And wait till you see how Jeffries handles it when he's asked about it now that these new revelations are coming out. Check this out.
Good thing Gavin's out of the country, because the Democrats' crossfire is crazy. The squad wants Schumer gonzo, and they're saying it's urgent. Their little Epstein play backfired, and they walked right into a trap. Now Trump's directing Bondi to investigate Epstein's relationship with Democrats, and the Southern District of New York is on the case. That means Clinton, Larry Summers, Michael Wolff, all of them, and all of the others could be the subject of a new underage sex trafficking investigation. Epstein was even caught coaching a Democrat congresswoman during a congressional hearing with Michael Cohen. And Ghislaine Maxwell's lawyers are accusing prison guards of leaking emails to Jamie Raskin. Again, they said the walls were closing in on Trump, and he just turned the tables. Democrats are now under investigation for everything they've accused Trump of: mortgage fraud, Epstein, Russia. Schumer blew the shutdown, uncorked Epstein as a distraction, and it boomeranged. And now top Democrats are lawyering up and telling their wives, I was on the plane, but I never went to the island. After Kamala blew $2 billion in donor money, the donors are looking at Chuck Schumer and saying, are you dumb?
So let's get this straight, right? You got prominent Democrat figures that are already lawyering up. Larry Summers has already stepped down. The hammer is dropping. They're literally having to tell their wives, like, listen, okay, I did it. And see, this is why they wanted to cherry pick and just take out Trump information. The Democrats never wanted all of the files to be released. They wanted everything pertaining to Trump to be released. And what happened is it backfired, because the public started saying, screw that. We want it all. So Thomas Massey, you thought you were doing something to hurt Trump, but you actually just helped destroy your allies, the Democrats. Wait till you see about Barack and this alleged $50 billion Ponzi scheme cover-up of Epstein. Oh, that's in here too. But let's go right here. We're going to look at Hakeem the Dream. He's at a little press conference. Let's see what he has to say when they ask him about Epstein and how he handles it. Check this out.
Why should Americans trust you and House Democrats on the Jeffrey Epstein files when one of your own, Congresswoman Plaskett, was found to be texting with Jeffrey Epstein during a hearing, getting information from him, using that in her questioning during a congressional hearing? And at one point, he tells her, good job.
This is a bipartisan effort to make sure that, consistent with what the survivors have requested, that there's full and complete transparency, and every single predator who may be in those Justice Department files doesn't escape accountability.
Now he's going to regret that he said that, because the quote unquote president he spoke about, Bill Clinton, has already been accused. And now we got some proof of what Larry Summers was talking about. That's in here too, where he was trying to get Epstein to give him dating advice. We getting there. So you just heard Hakeem the Dream. Now I want you to check out Jamie Comer, the head of the Oversight Committee in Congress. Check this bombshell out.
Colleagues' coordination with Epstein. Another email shows Democrat fundraisers invited Epstein to an event or to meet privately with Hakeem Jeffries as part of their 2013 effort to win a majority. So Hakeem Jeffries' campaign solicited money from Jeffrey Epstein. That's what we found in the last document batch. The files underscore why former President Trump must appear for his deposition. We've subpoenaed him. To date, the Democrats have done nothing to help us secure his appearance. I support full transparency. The Oversight Committee will continue to work to get the truth to the American people and to get justice for the victims. That's our goal of this investigation. With that, I yield back.
The gentleman yields back. Yeah, Mr. Speaker, we reserve. The gentleman reserves.
So let's check out this right here at the bottom where it says, there's the email. Dear Jeffrey, we are thrilled to announce that we are working with Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, one of the rising stars in the New York congressional delegation, sometimes referred to as Brooklyn's Barack. If you're enjoying this video, do me a solid, hit that thumbs up, because I'll never ask you for a cash app, a super chat, or a donation. You hitting that like button is more than enough. And if you aren't subscribed already, subscribe. And once you do, make sure you hit the notification bell and select all, because YouTube has issues getting the notifications out. So whether you're already subscribed or subscribing now, make sure you hit the notification bell, select all, so YouTube will make sure you get notified when I upload new videos. He is a staunch supporter of President Obama and a progressive voice for the people of New York City. NY1 did a profile piece about his work on a vitally important budget and judiciary committees in Washington. You can watch the video here or read the text below. Hakeem is committed to electing a Democratic majority in 2014 and is encouraging his friends to participate in the DCCC, the DSCC fundraising dinner with President Obama this coming Monday night. Shoot us an email or give us a call, phone number, if you would like to get involved with the dinner or would like to get an opportunity to get to know Hakeem better. He is an impressive guy and who will be a progressive voice in New York politics for years to come. 2013, Epstein was already a convicted PDF file. He was already convicted and they knew it. Now that was just that. You think they didn't meet? You think he didn't get that solicitation? They won, right? So the rabbit hole is going deeper. It's going deeper and going deeper. This is here is the copy of the actual email from Lisa Rossi, rising star, to Jeffrey on behalf of Hakeem the Dream. Hakeem Jeffries positions himself for a long career in Washington, and then they got this little write-up. So there's a hip-hop song, Every Day I'm Hustling. I kind of feel that way down here in Washington. Hakeem is always trying to reference these hip-hop songs to act like he's this cool brother. He is lame. That dude is weirder than a $3 bill. So don't get caught up in the hype, but we got Hakeem the Dream. Now check out Senator Mullins as he's going to talk and lead into what was going on with Larry Summers. And wait till you see the messages between Larry Summers. Now, who was Larry Summers? Larry Summers was Barack Obama's second. He was the Secretary of the Treasury under Clinton. And then he was the economic chief under Obama. Obama's whole inner circle in Washington was working and talking and hanging out with Epstein. When you see these emails, Larry Summers and Epstein's was bros. They were in a bromance. He was getting dating advice. And wait till you see who the dating advice was for. Larry Summers was trying to sleep with somebody who is associated with one of our biggest, I don't want to call him an enemy, but one of the countries that let me just let you, I'll wait till you get there. Check this out.
However, Larry Summers, who appears to be the biggest loser in this so far, he was the Treasury Secretary under Clinton. He was the former president of Harvard. He was Obama's chief economic advisor, had stayed in touch with Epstein for years after the sexual stuff started.
After he was a registered sex offender.
Yes.
Right.
Here's what Larry Summers said. I am deeply ashamed of my actions and recognize the pain that they've caused. I take full responsibility for my misguided decision to continue communicating with Mr. Epstein. He's basically retiring to the proverbial undisclosed location. He says he's withdrawing from public life. But when you have episodes like this with Plaskett and with Larry Summers, why are the Democrats so fixated on President Trump?
Well, first of all, Summers can try to retire from public life. The truth is, if he did something criminal, knowing it, and he was covering up for Epstein,
then he needs to be prosecuted. So you can try to retire and say, I'm getting away from it. You can't. The question needs to come up is what was Bill Clinton doing on the plane 26 times? Why did Epstein refer to himself as Summers' wingman? What was the close relationship there? You're not a wingman in a situation like that you don't know what's going on the plane and on the private island. And then for him to be able to go ahead and join this new Russian gate, which is the Epstein gate, I guess you want to call it, this complete hoax that somehow President Trump was involved in, when at the same time it was the Democrats that's drawing this story out and trying to make it a big deal that it's not. I can't wait. I really can't wait until this absolutely blows up in the face of the Democrats once again and shows the hypocrisy that they have.
When do you think it goes to a vote before the Senate? What happens?
It could come up as quick as this week. The problem is the president or the speaker, Johnson, has made it very clear that he wants to protect some of the identity of the victims, and he's concerned about the House language. So we'll have to come over here. We'll try fixing that because we don't want to. If the victims don't want to be exposed, we don't want to expose them.
While we're talking about rhinos and Democrat destruction, I want to take a moment to give a shout out to the sponsor of this video and partner of the channel, Chapter. A huge shout out because Chapter has been doing great to help seniors because it's open enrollment period right now. And with all of this buzz going around with the Obamacare credits and whatnot, now is the time to make sure you've got the best Medicare plan available, because it would suck to look up and find out your prescriptions are no longer covered and your doctor is no longer in network. At Chapter, they have professionals that give you an unbiased perspective to make sure you've got the best plan available for you. If what you have is the best, great. But what if there's better that can help you? Seniors are saving as much as $1,100. Yes, $1,100 is staying in their pockets with the help of Chapter agents. In a free phone call that's less than 20 minutes, let Chapter agents help you make sure you've got the best Medicare plan available. This is something you don't want to wait on. It's the open enrollment period right now. And so now is the best time to make sure that you are protected. Give Chapter a call with the number on the screen or visit the website and let Chapter make sure that you got everything that you need.
So we want to make sure that language is tight. We might be able to get that done this week. If not, I'm sure it'll come up right after we get back from Thanksgiving.
All right. Well,
so again, y'all know it happened when they tried to prosecute him. Thank goodness they did that because it backfired and got him elected. And this Epstein thing, well, the shutdown, they tried to shut down and thought, ooh, everybody will blame Trump. It backfired. They were blamed. Now with the Epstein, they really thought if they kept the full court press on President Trump with Epstein, that nobody would realize. Y'all never talked about this under Biden. Nobody cared about it under Biden. Thomas Massey didn't give a crap about it under Biden. Marjorie Taylor Greene didn't care about it under Biden. But now all of these people just care so much because it's Trump. And this is where Marjorie Taylor Greene tore herself, because I think even she might have thought, yeah, I'm going to hedge my bets, because she started believing the BS. Oh, I'm going to hedge my bets. So when it drops on Trump, I could say that I didn't want anything to do with that. And he didn't endorse me. Except for Marjorie, you were too much of a power-hungry fool to realize the Democrats lie. They survive in chaos. They wanted to manipulate you, just like their voters, to have everybody looking over here instead of over there. But like as always, they're projecting. Remember, I've said this many, many times. Whatever a Democrat names a bill as or accuses somebody else of doing, expect the opposite. Whatever they're accusing somebody of doing is what they're actually doing. Whatever they name a bill, oh, this is the Clean Air Act. You better believe they're dirtying that atmosphere up. So this Epstein thing has been phenomenal, not only for the survivors, but for America. We can get this crap behind us and realize those demon rats the whole time have been working with Epstein. He even got his hands in the Russiagate hoax. Wouldn't it be crazy if he was the one that gave Obama the idea or the orders to set that up to get Trump? Because now we realize Epstein hated Trump. Epstein was working with the Democrats to set Trump up. But the Democrats played it like Epstein and Trump was such great friends. From pictures they found in the 90s, Trump booted that man out of Mar-a-Lago in 2003. And so the Democrats know it, 22 years. But Democrats were talking to Epstein. Larry Summers was communicating with him as much as up to 2 days, if not the day before he was arrested. Him and Larry Summers were talking. Stacey Plaskett was texting with him in 2019 during the Cohen case, where he tell her good job, ask about Rona, somebody that she didn't even know. Man, but check this out. So this right here is Michael Lucci. Larry Summers was texting Epstein up till July 5th, 2019, the day before his arrest. Summers wanted advice on leveraging into bed a Chinese economist whose father is a senior CCP official, Summers reported and flattered. Here's message. The next morning, Summers struck a different tone. Game day at conference. She was extremely good, smart, assertive, and clear, gorgeous. I'm effed. In messages from later that month, Summers and Epstein discussed Summers' relationship with Jen's father, a former high-ranked Chinese Communist Party official and the founding president of the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, who Summers had long been close with. When Jen emailed Summers on December 22nd to thank him for his support of her and her father, minutes after she sent Summers an outline of an academic paper, Summers forwarded the exchange to Epstein, explaining that he had recently sent a comment in MTG with her father, flattering her father and saying other China officials have flattered him as well. So this man is literally kicking it with Epstein about his whole situation where he's trying to get this Chinese Communist Party member's daughter into bed. He wants to be another Eric Swalwell and Fang Fang, except for her name is Jen. Now, this is another message from Summers. Summers, who has been married since 2005. So this man is married this whole time he's doing this. Can you imagine his wife finding out all of this right now? Not only was he messing around, he was hanging out with a child with a PDF file and trying to sleep with other women on the road. Summers, who had been married since 2005, told Epstein he thought the woman was reluctant to leave him because she valued his professional connections. Epstein told him in one June 19 text, "She is doomed to be with you. Think for now, I'm going nowhere with her except economics mentor." Summers wrote in November 2018, "I think I'm right now in the seen very warmly in the rearview mirror category. She must be very confused or maybe wants to cut me off, but wants professional connection a lot. And so she holds to it." Summers wrote in a March 2019 exchange to Epstein, explaining why he believes she continued to engage with him despite his tensions. So this man knows his wife don't even want to be with him. And who does he reach out to? His wingman. Yes, Epstein is his goose. And you may be too young to know the Top Gun reference, but for those of y'all who get it, you're telling your age. But Summers was Epstein's goose. So Epstein, I guess, is Tom Cruise. Summers is Goose. Now, like Senator Mullin said, when you're a wingman and anybody that's going out on a double date or, couples thing, whatever, when you're going out with your buddy as a dude and you say you're the wingman, that means you there to take up the slack and kick it with anybody else that might be on the side. You as wingman. So you're doing everything you can to help whatever mission he got going be successful. And we know what Epstein was into. So if Larry Summers was into this, Catherine Rumler, who was Obama's chief counsel, was also somebody that talked to Epstein a lot. These are the inner circle. And you mean tell me Barry Soetoro, Barack Obama didn't know? Crazy. Now, here's really the beginning of where Obama is going to have to explain himself. He's already going to have to explain himself now. You can't have your whole orbit. Can you imagine if Trump's team members have been found to have been messaging with Epstein up until 2019? It would be over. The media would tear it up. But Obama, do you notice they're not even talking about it? Wait till you hear from President Trump. So we learned from the Epstein files, Stephen Hoffenberg disclosed that Barack Obama covered up a $50 billion Ponzi scheme carried out by Jeffrey Epstein. Barack Obama lied to cover up his relationship with Larry Summers, who was on Epstein payroll. It is all likely that Obama colluded to use DynCorp to move little people with Epstein. And this is all alleged, but we got the document. So right here it says, hot book rips Jeffrey Epstein's $50 billion Ponzi scheme crime covered up by President Barack Obama by Stephen Hoffenberg. It's a book. Lisa Twardu died at the dirty hands of billionaire Jeffrey Epstein's lies about the crimes he committed while working at TowersInvestors.com. Epstein looted Towers investors of billions of dollars in Ponzi crimes at the time Lisa became the wife of Stephen Hoffenberg, who was Epstein's boss at Tower Investors. Epstein defrauded the Towers investors with a cover-up after taking $2 billion from Towers and depositing it into the Epstein Hedge Fund Financial Trust Corp. Lisa Twardu died when she was going to expose the fact that Jeffrey Epstein looted billions from Towers investors by Ponzi crimes. Now, from the grave, Lisa Twardu slams arrogant Ponzi crimes king Epstein in the tell-all book she wrote that reveals everything about Epstein and the Fed's cover-up with President Obama. The feds are bad. They are covering up the Epstein Ponzi crimes. The Lisa Twardu book states that the FBI is violating the law with this cover-up. The book says President Obama told the Attorney General that Jeffrey Epstein was cooperating in an overseas banking crime. But House Oversight 031193, the FBI can't arrest Epstein. These are all lies by the President of the United States. The book says that President Obama lied to cover up his relationship with Larry Summers, who is on Jeffrey Epstein's payroll. Whoa! This lady had wrote it all And when she died, it got released. She was able to tell it from the grave. Now, let's listen to President Trump as he blasts this reporter for bringing up Epstein during his meeting with the Saudi prince. And he don't stop there. He goes all the way in. Check this out.
Mr. President, why wait for Congress to release the Epstein files? Why not just do it now?
You know, it's not the question that I mind, it's your attitude. I think you are a terrible reporter. It's the way you ask these questions. You start off with a man who's highly respected, asking him a horrible, insubordinate, and just a terrible question. And you could even ask that same exact question nicely. You're all psyched up. Somebody psychs you over at ABC. They're going to psych it. You're a terrible person and a terrible reporter. As far as the Epstein files is, I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. I threw him out of my club many years ago because I thought he was a sick pervert. But I guess I turned out to be right. But you know who does have? Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, who ran Harvard, was with him every single night, every single weekend. They lived together. They went to his island many times. I never did. Andrew Weissman, I hear. All these guys were friends of his. You don't even talk about those people. You just keep going on the Epstein files. And what the Epstein is a Democrat hoax to try and get me not to be able to talk about the $21 trillion that I talked about today. It's a hoax. Now, I just got a little report, and I put it in my pocket, of all the money that he's given to Democrats. He gave me none, zero, no money to me. But he gave money to Democrats. And people are wise to your hoax. And ABC's is your company, your crappy company, is one of the perpetrators. And I'll tell you something. I think the license should be taken away from ABC because your news is so fake and it's so wrong. And we have a great commissioner, the chairman, who should look at that, because I think when you come in and when you're 97% negative to Trump and then Trump wins the election in a landslide, that means obviously your news is not credible and you're not credible as a reporter. So I've answered your question. You should go and look at the Democrats who received money from Epstein, who spent their time. Larry Summers was with him all the time. That creep of the fund guy was with him all the time. What's his name? Reid Hoffman. I don't know Reid Hoffman, but I know he spends a lot of money on the radical left. Reid Hoffman, in my opinion, should be under investigation. He's a sleazebag. And those are the people, but they don't get any press. They don't get any news. And you're not after the radical left because you're a radical left network. But I think the way you ask the question with the anger and the meanness is terrible. You ought to go back and learn how to be a reporter. No more questions from you.
No, he put it in his place because he's right. They're still asking him. And this press conference was prior to the House voting on it. He's going to sign off on it. But you see, they want to just keep talking about him, even though all this other stuff. Hakeem Jeffries is in there now. We've got Larry Summers now. We've got Kathy Rumler in there. We got Bill Clinton in there. We got Reid Hoffman. We got Andrew Weissman. We got Michael Wolff, the New York Times. But they want to keep talking about Trump. Why? Because they're the lamestream, radical left propagandizing network. And I'm so sick of them. But that's why I bring it out here to you. So we know what's really going on. It is real. These Democrats have been working with Epstein the whole time. And for those of you who watched this video and who are saying, well, when is Trump going to have to go after him? Are you happy now? Because it's happening. And like I told everybody, stay patient. Don't act like a deranged radical leftist where the moment something don't happen your way, all of a sudden you flaking out on Trump. If you that easy to flake out, then take your rhino self and you jump over there to the Democrats too. Because majority of people that watch these videos, Tracy Jacobs, Yanni, it's a number of people. I can name off a lot. James Tomey. It's a lot of people that I know, John, that jump on here and they're loyalists and they ride this out. Lady V, there's so many that get it. But every once in a while, we have one of these crabs that creep up in there and, oh, I'll believe it when I see it and all of that. Don't leave comments in my section like that because over here, we know what's going on. We're not falling for their BS. Anytime the Democrats are saying, look here, you better look there. And it's happening now. The veil is being lifted. And hopefully the spell is going to be broken over all these voters who have just been blindly just following that party without doing any research, any due diligence. But we got them now. So I just wanted to bring you that. And hey, listen, if you stayed and you watched it up to this point, I want to thank you from the top and bottom of my heart. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. And if you haven't already, hit that like button. And if you aren't subscribed, subscribe. And most importantly, I want you to stay safe and you be great. I'm Brian Maxwell saying I look forward to seeing you at the top. Over and out, y'all.